Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and good day to each and everyone once again. So we will, for today's videos, we will continue our discussion for our last meeting. Okay, so probably our last meeting talks about the general topics or the preliminary topics about our um, computer architecture. Okay, so probably ang okay, ang naintindihan natin doon is about the classification of the computer, and how the computer and the external input from the human being interfaced using the three buses, no? At saka yung mga ways or mga rules ng kung ano yung ginagawa ng computers to stand by the instruction na binibigay ng human interface. Okay, so yun. So, saan ba niyan siya ini-store, anong ginagamit niyang pang-store, at saka anong ginagamit niyang pang-read. So, yun. Okay, so kung babasahin natin yun siya, so yun yung tungkol doon sa last topics natin. Okay, so this would be just the continuation of our topics, no, last meeting. This is once again, no, based pa rin to siya sa based pa rin to siya sa configuration ng ng computers natin, no, as an interfacing materials, or as an interfacing tools from between human and the microchips, or the microchips, or the computers. Okay, so yun. Okay, so we have here three bus architecture na naman, no? So I'm sure na pag-aralan natin to siya, but this would be the general, or this would be the the general overview of our three bus architecture. Okay? So we have here, no? Ito yung itsura niya, no? We have here 8-bit microprocessor, no? As you can see here, as we have already discussed from our previous topics. Okay? um memory of the or memory of memory of a register is composed of 8 bits, no, or 1 bytes for words. Okay, 2 byte 32 bytes for paragraph, and so on and so forth, no. So marami yun siya. So ito yung certain examples ng ganun. We have here 8-bit microprocessor. So a typical 8-bit microprocessor is meron tayong address bus, no, from A sub O A0, no, or port A0 to port A15. Then meron tayong data bus na naman for D0 up to D7. Then meron tayong control bus, okay, which is IOR, IOW, MEMR, MEMW, no? So this should be the typical microprocessor. So ibig sabihin dito natin in-stored, or dito natin pinaprocess yung mga instructions na binibigay natin, okay? Uh, Throughout the computers papunta rito sa processors natin. Okay? So meron din tayong clock. Yung clock na yan yung nagsisilbing organizer ng instruction, at saka yung binibigay na output ng computer sa atin. Okay? So yun. So yan yung nagsisilbing organizer. Okay, so we have here address bus. Here is the address of the memory, no, from our basic na-discuss na natin to siya, no. Address bus is yun yung nagkikiri ng memory cell. Then 8-bit microprocessor can output 2 to the power of 16, or 65536 unique address, or 64 kibytes. So ito yung typical na laptop or PC, no? 64 kibytes. Range from 000 to FFFH, no? Probably sobra na to siya sa 64 kibytes. Exactly sa 64 kibytes na to siya, no? Memory space. Okay, so the range of this one is 8 bits, no? Each 8 bits, each space, or each space of memory, okay? Of 64 bytes. So data bus naman is carries a data read from written to memory or IO bidirectional, no? Yun, bidirectional actually yung data bus natin, no? Kasi it carries a data that is inputted from the system, or from the computers, or into the computers, no. So bidirectional siya. When you say bidirectional, it can goes from the human interface pupunta sa port ng microprocessors natin. Pwede rin siyang from microprocessors to uh, to human interface, no? So we have here control bus, no? Yun yung kanina, no? So control direction of data flow on the bidirectional data, no? So since pwede dito yung bidirectional data, so hindi pwedeng kumbaga basta-basta mo na lang i i-input or i-output yung data, no? So yun. So dapat may control ka, no? So that's why meron tayong tinatawag na control bus. Okay, so for example, no, when IOW is equals to 1, no, yung sa control bus natin, okay, so yung sa control bus natin, IOW is equals to 1, ito, yung IOW, address and address bus is an IO address, no? Yun. So, IO address siya. So, IO device will receive data, no, for that case, if it is equals to 1. Okay? So, yun. If you set the IOW is equals to 1, no, so yun yung magiging function ng control bus natin. Okay? So, you have here CPU and complex timer. Microprocessor, a complex thing that the output, a complex timing unit, the outputs memory or IO address on its address bus writes data on its data bus and synchronizes these activities with its control bus. So yun sinasabi ko kanina, no? We have to synchronize the flow of data from input to output or from output to input, no? So yun. So So ito yung examples, no? So we have here a sample of 8080 assembly codes. We have here, for example, no? Meron tayong N3, no? So we have to input a data from port 3. Okay? So tapos is TA0700. So we have to accumulate that data that is inputted from the port 3 into a location of 700H, no? So yun. So ibig sabihin nun, saan yung 077 0700H? So nandito yan siya, no? Dito na part. Okay? So dito na part. So doon natin i-store yung data. So therefore, then after that HLT na naman or halt, no? So yun. Or ito yung basic representation niya, no? Or by space kumbaga from DB then papunta dito sa 0.005. Okay? So yun. So yan yung pag-store ng data into memory. Okay? So yun. So CPU as a complex timer, meron tayong machine cycle, a computer operation in which an address is output and data transferred. A single machine cycle is the minimum amount of time a single instruction can be executed. Now, so ibig sabihin, meron tayong a certain time in which doon natin ini-execute or doon ini-execute ng computer yung dapat niyang i-execute. Okay? Then, may time din na doon niya dapat i-output yung value or yung output na dapat i-output. Okay? So, meron tayong clock cycles or T-state. Not all machine cycle are of equal length, no? So, magkakaiba-iba yan sila. Each instruction require a number of clock cycles. For example, instruction in STA and HLT of 8080 require 10, 13, or 7 clock cycles or T state. No? So, iba-iba. No? Every instruction may certain amount of time yun sila na dapat required para uh, para mangyari yung kanilang na-stored sa kanila na instruction. Okay? So if system clock is 2 megahertz, then the time required to execute the sample program is 30 cc or we have 1 over 2 megahertz or 15 US. No? So yun. So iba-iba yun sila. No? So this will be the computation. So we have here programming model. No? Program model, internal structure of the microprocessor, diagram of the internal registers and flags within the CPU. So example, this one here, no? Intel 8-bit 8080 microprocessor. So we have for example, yung A is accumulator yan siya. B, C, D, ito yung kumbaga ito yung mga accumulators na tumatanggap ng data, no? Each of them are 8 bits. No? So we have here B, C, D, E, H, L, no? You have 8-bit general purpose, no? So kahit ano yun siya, pwede mong i-store dyan. Yung SP naman, stack pointer register. So ito yung mga pointer in which we have to use that one to point some register. Okay? PC, PNC or PC are program counter, no? Then F is flag register. So, iba-iba sila ng function. Okay? So, SP naman contains an address that points special. Okay, SP ba yung kanina? Yes, SP. So, ito yung mga definition nila. SP contains an address that points to a special section of the memory called stack 16-bit length, no? So, as I have said. Tapos, PC holds the address of the next instruction in the CPU, will defect the CPU will be fetching 16-bit in length, no? So ibig sabihin it holds the address of the instruction na uh, next mo na i i-accumulate, okay, or i-instruct sa CPU. Okay, so A is the accumulator, F is the flag register, each bit specify condition of flag. Okay, so yun, basahin na lang natin to siya. Every register here has their certain function. Okay? So they are all 8 bits, no? So yun. So you have here memory refers to a device or circuit that stores digital information. The concept of memory unit is essential to the digital computer. Okay? So yun, it is from this unit that the CPU fetches instruction in data. Tama, no? So dito natin fini-fetch yung instruction in data natin, no? Dito fini-fetch ng CPU. Okay? Because CPU has a memory. So there are several types of memories. We have which one to use depends on the intended application. So depende sa application na gagamitan natin, no? As we have said kanina. So we have here three major types of memory. We have main or prime memory, secondary memory or archival memory. Okay, so maiba-iba sila. So main memory is the most important memory. So interface directly with the CPU over the system 3 bus architecture. Okay, so ito yung pinaka-importanteng memory, tapos ito yung uh, memory in which it interfaces the CPU and the 3 bus architecture. So ibig sabihin dito dumadaan or dito na-stuck yung mga information or data na nanggagaling or pumupunta sa 3 bus architecture, okay, from CPU. So to qualification, it must be able to communicate with processor at the system frequency. Tama. Each cell in the memory must be randomly accessible via its own unique address. Okay, so ibig sabihin nun, every address of cell has a unique, no? Unique kumbaga. So doon lang sila kumbaga sa cell na yon. Okay? Okay. So secondary memory naman used for mass storage of application, no, programs and data files, no. Ito naman yung mga memories na dito natin sino-stored yung mga programs that required a lot of size, no. So has the following characteristic. We have, so basahin na lang din natin yun siya. So example nito is floppy disk, hard disk, and flash drives. Okay? Yun. So, yung floppy disk at saka floppy disk, yan yung ginagamit dati ng mga programmers, no? Parang itsura niya yun siya is maliit siya na disk. Okay? Tapos, dyan sinastored yung mga programs na dapat i-execute na hindi nagkasya sa primary memory natin. Okay? So, archival memory naman used in some system for backup purposes. Okay, so ito yung mga memories that is stored. Ito yung mga memories that is yung program natin or yung mga data natin is being stored, okay, in the purpose of backup, no? Kumbaga backup lang yun siya. Okay? So examples are magnetic tape. Okay? So yun. So choosing memory. Why we are choosing memory? Now, so we have choosing a memory component for particular microcomputer system will depend on the intended application. Okay? Siyempre, depende sa application. It's either RAM, ROM, or RAM. Okay? So, read-only memory. It is a non-volatile used in microcomputers. Okay? So, these are the characteristic of this ROM or read-only memory. From its name suggests, it only reads those you can only read those data that is being stored on read-only memory. Okay? So tapos choosing advantage of ROM, its content is instantly available when power is applied. Okay? So kumbaga ito yung mga memories that is hindi nawawala yung data mo, okay, even if the power is not applied. So disadvantage of ROM naman or read-only memory, it occupies memory space that cannot be written into ROMs are not easily programmed. Okay? So random access memory naman, so read write, no? Ito yung mga memories that you can read and of course you can also write. Okay? So programmable kumbaga or volatile siya. Okay? So memory map, usually a microcomputer will have a mix of ROM and REM, no, or read only memory and random access memory. So a combination of that two. Okay? So input and output, okay? Basahin lang natin siya, serial interface. Okay, serial interface is serial interface transmit data bits serially. So ito yung pag-transfer ng data, okay? That is after the other in time, no? So that is one after the other in one time. So ibig sabihin after the one, the others na naman. Or ibig sabihin serial talaga yung pag-transfer. Okay, so required parallel to serial converter and or serial to parallel converter. Kasi yung data natin, no, it's either from parallel or from the same na pag-transfer o kumbaga pare-parehas or simultaneous na pag-transfers ng data, dapat i-convert natin yun siya into serial or yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga data. Okay, so yun. Yan yung tinatawag na serial interface. So, basahin na lang din natin tong parallel IO interface or IO map, memory map IO. Tapos, so, yun lang siguro. So, if you have any question about these topics, okay, just clarify it and just search about it. Okay, kasi basic lang naman to siya. Okay, so wala pa tayo sa programming. So, we are actually hoping that this lecture serves as our guide for these lectures, no, enough guide for our lectures for these our lectures. Once again, if you have any question, kindly ask it to me. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.